Yes, two-time cancer survivor. As I like to call it, season 1 and season 2. We all have those moments in life where we kind of think, yeah, that's not going to happen to me. No, I eat well, I'm vegan, I'm gluten-free, I'm watching what I do in life. That's not going to happen to me. That can't happen to me. Whatever it is that I heard on the news or read in a newspaper clipping, no, not going to happen to me. 2009, it happened to me. You're sitting in a doctor's office thinking you got a lump in your throat. Could have been swollen glands. Could have been a million things. Then the doctor says, you have nasal pharynx carcinoma. What is that? I said. Well, it's a type of cancer, and then he started saying other words. And then immediately I thought of, when you hear the word cancer, everything else just sounds like mumbled noise, like Charlie Brown's mom, like cancer. And then all of a sudden your brain just goes, oh my God, I'm dying! No, cancer. And he's still talking, and I'm not listening to a damn word he's saying. What the hell is nasal pharynx carcinoma? Cancer. Me. I never smoked. That's what I accustomed to it. Like, that's a cancer person, right? Who smokes or doesn't live right. Then he starts talking about this disease. It's very popular. It's very well known within the Asian communities throughout Asia. Nasopharynx carcinoma is a type of cancer that affects your sinuses. Breaks down your ears, nose, and throat. They're finding it more in North America with Mediterranean men. Those of Greek, Italian, and Portuguese descent. And the doctor looked at me and goes, are you Portuguese? And immediately my brain just kind of snapped back to reality. I'm like, did this guy just call me Portuguese? Now, I'm Italian, and there's things you don't do in life. You don't step on Superman's cape, you don't shoot the bat signal out in broad daylight, and you don't call an Italian Portuguese. Because I immediately stopped talking or thinking about cancer. I'm like, why did this guy just call me? Why did he assume that? Was it something I'm wearing? Am I wearing an Ed Hardy shirt? No. Why go with Portuguese? Greek, Latino, maybe Jewish, I don't know, but Portuguese, really? And that's what was going through my brain. I'm thinking of the funny story I'm going to tell on the way home to my buddy, and I've just been diagnosed with cancer. So somehow I thought in my subconscious, okay, I'm going to handle this a bit differently, obviously. Now, yes, I'm funny by nature. I'm very sarcastic. And when I was telling my friends what happened, I'm like, and then he thought I was Portuguese. And my friends were like, dude, you just kind of skipped over the part that you have cancer. I'm like, no, you're not getting the funny part. He thought I was Portuguese. Oh, they're not getting it. But then it became a reality when treatment started. Now in 2009, season 1, that was the ugly cancer. That was the chemo, the radiation. It hit me all at once. If you never had cancer, if you don't know what it feels like, I was 33 years old. And the first thing to do is you're going to lose your taste buds. They'll be gone within 2 weeks of radiation. Huh. Like all my taste buds? Like everything will taste like wet garbage. Interesting, I said. Okay. So in that 2 weeks, I gained about 40 pounds of just like all my food that I love. And they were right. Just lost it all. No sense of nothing. I was hospital ridden. I couldn't eat properly. I couldn't function. Then the chemo started. Now, if you ever had chemo, well, the first 2 hours, like, it's not bad. Then all of a sudden you get this, what tastes like shit? And, oh yeah, that's nausea. It's like stinky ass burritos with diarrhea and a splitting headache hit you all at once. And I was sitting in my hospital bed just throwing up, and I'm like, oh God, is this ever going to end? And my roommate beside me, an older gentleman, early 60s, one night I woke up and I just started throwing up. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't stop myself. I just couldn't, blah, blah, just waves upon waves of vomit. And he's like, just let it out, let it out. I'm like, oh fuck, I woke him up. Oh man, he's going to be pissed. Just let it out, let it out. That's all I heard from behind this curtain. Next day he wakes up, opened the curtain. His name was John. I'm like, sorry if I kept you up last night, John. He's like, no. I wasn't upset with you. I was cheering you on. You were what now? Cheering you on. Let it out. Let it out. Get it out of you. Just don't let it back in. why would it be on the floor? It's in a bucket or it's in a, why would it, what? No, what? But he was speaking on a little bit deeper level than where my brain was at. Let it out. Just don't let it back in. Let it out. Just don't let it back in. Those words repeated in my head. Like, what do you mean by that? He's like, look at my wife. She comes to visit me every day. She's a nutcase. She was a warrior. I mean, if this guy's prescription in life was he'll need to take a Tylenol for the rest of his life, she'd freak. The whole thing? Can't you cut it in half? Oh my God, my poor husband. It's a Tylenol. Relax. So she only visited him for maybe 5 minutes a day because that's all he could bear. She was too much of a worry on him. This guy was stacked with positivity. I'm going to beat this disease. So when he was telling me, let it out, just don't let it back in. Let it out. Let it all out. Let that negativity come out. Just don't bring it back in. If you got to be sick, be sick. If you got to throw up to the best of your ability. Own it like a champ. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I started doing that. And then I allowed myself to be that way. But in John's words, only do that for 10% of the day. The other 90, focus on your well-being. Take 10% and accumulate that to your worries. But that 90, keep it to your well-being. 10% to your worries, 90% to your well-being. It's this 90-10 rule that I suddenly adapted in my life. 90-10. And then I started applying it day by day, hour by hour, as I sat in that bed. Whatever's hitting me, I'm only going to let it affect 10% of my day, 10% of my week, 10% of the month. That's it. The other 90, I'm focusing on getting better. How? How am I getting better? Learning about what this nasal pharynx carcinoma is all about. Every day the doctors will come and educate me. Tell me how the lump is decreasing through radiation, through chemo. Asking questions. Most of them are stupid questions. Yes, that's me. But I asked. Laughing was a big thing that helped me in that 90%. Now, if you know me, and you can kind of get a picture of what my friends are like, they're very inappropriate. So that's what I needed. Make the jokes. Make the cancer jokes. I had to laugh in the face of cancer because that's how I coped. Now, don't leave here thinking, well, Vince fucking laughed in the face of cancer. No, that's what worked for me. Vince, you got some sun. Did you go outside today? It's radiation, bitch. I go every day. That's what the glow that you're seeing. I was down to 140 pounds. I looked sickly lying in my bed. My sister, oh my God. Look at you. Look at you. I'm not going to talk about 140 pounds. Get my beach bod ready. I got this glow. I got lots of weight. Look it up, no? I'm almost as small. How can you make jokes at a time like this? How can you make jokes? Because if I don't, I'm going to let more of that 10% in. It becomes 15, it becomes 20, it becomes 25. No, I'll worry. I'll worry that 10% of the day. The other 90 is how I choose to focus on my well-being. And the last thing is love, obviously. You've got to surround yourself with the ones who love you, your family, your friends. Because they'll stand beside you no matter what. Now, season 2 happened in 2016. They couldn't give me the chemo and the radiation all over again. My body went through that once. They hit me with everything in the kitchen sink. See, I was 33 years old in 2009. That's when Jesus died, by the way. Just that. I'm just saying, Jesus died at 33. Where is that across? Whatever. But in 2016, I turned 40. I turned 40, and then a week later, that lump that was in my throat, that was scar tissue, but now they found a cell, and now we think that, just say it! Well, it's back, and it's pissed. Oh, the cancer's back and it's pissed. Is it really? But we can't do chemo and radiation. No. This is a little more vigorous, if you will. This is surgery. 6 hours. Slice my throat open. Now, the way the tumor was situated, the little bugger that it was in between my jugular vein, if you can see that. So a jugular vein going over top, and then a pack of telephone wires going underneath, called my nerves. And in between those two things was this scar tissue that was infected. Now, only doctor knows you're not going to cut the jugular vein and bleed out. I'm dead on the table. So, of course, he had to cut the pack of nerves. What does that pack of nerves lead to? Well, at the time, we didn't know. It looked like telephone wire. Couldn't ask me. I'm all cool. I don't want to cut. Well, yeah, red wire, blue wire. Just don't blow the place up. I woke up, I had no feeling in my mouth. From my ear to my jaw, from my neck down, no sensation. I started talking like this. Was that going to stop me? No. Little by little, you work at it, you improve your speech, and you get there. 90-10, 90-10. No matter what that problem was, just focus on how to be better. Now this applies to cancer, but it could apply to anything. Anything in the world. Depression, divorce, stress. We all have it. Everybody can apply this 90-10 rule in their life. I'm sounding like an infomercial right now. Don't quote me on it. I'm just saying that a perspective of life to change and look at something from a different point of view, thinking this is what I could do to make my life better and not focus on this negative, can change wonders in your world. Everybody here tonight spoke about something that was bothering them and that was a struggle in their life, and essentially it's all their stories. This is my story. Those were all their stories. Each and every one of you right now, looking at me, is a story. We're all stories. When we're dead and buried, that's what we are. We're stories. Stories that will be passed on from a father to a son, from a mother to a daughter, aunts and uncles to their nieces and nephews, grandparents to their grandchildren. That's all we are. We're stories. Maybe a year from now, maybe a week, maybe it's next Tuesday. You might be sitting somewhere, chit-chatting, having a drink with a friend, and you might say, "Did I ever tell you a story about this guy Vince?" Thank you very much.